Okay. Hi, I'm Jair, and this is our final project for Communication 2 with my classmates, Khaled and Sergio. So today we're gonna ask some questions, but at first I would like them to introduce and give a little bit of background on themselves. So we start with Paul.
I'm Paul. I was born and grew up in the island of Jamaica, the capital Kingston, which is about 900 kilometers north of Barranquilla. I went to college in the United States, Italy, and Canada, but returned to Jamaica in '82, where I worked most of my life, and I retired in 2016. Sold everything. I've been traveling full time. I landed in Colombia December 2017, intending to spend 1 month. I stayed 9, and I keep coming back every year for the maximum 6 months because I love this country, the people, the culture, everything about it.
Perfect. Well, our second guest is Jason, so tell us about you.
Okay, so my name is Jason. Like he said, I am 18 years old. I am from Orlando, Florida. My dad is American and my mom is Colombian, which is why I decided to study here because my mom said that it was a good place to study. I study German philology in the National University of Colombia.
So Paul, the first question is for you. What do you like about Colombian culture?
Oh, I mean, there's so many things. One thing for sure, I felt at home here from the very beginning. It reminded me in many ways of Jamaica, where I come from. I think the Colombian joy for life and living in general. Colombians just enjoy life and the joy of life and expressing it in music, dance, and getting together to party with family and friends. The use of natural materials really surprised me everywhere I went in terms of using wood and stone and brick rather than plastics and stuff. It just made it's just nicer to live among natural materials than fabricated ones from factories. I think the music is and the dance, the food, the foods, the climate, the various climates. I haven't seen all of Colombia yet, but I'm so impressed with everything I've seen. There's flowers and trees and plants everywhere. People respect nature, and everybody loves the dogs. It's amazing they treat the dogs so well here in this country, almost as family. The diversity, I could keep going on, but there's so many things. As I said, I came here initially for 1 month, and I stayed 9. I overstayed the visa, and I just kept coming back and back.
So Jason, you can answer the same question.
Yeah, sure. Well, throughout my life, I've been actually surrounded by Colombian people because, well, my mom is Colombian, and in Orlando there are a lot of immigrants. So I was really approached by this very same culture ever since I was a child. I feel like Colombians are really friendly and they're really good to be around with. I feel like their food is actually really good, and well, I like studying here also.
Paul, what are the main difference culture between your country and Colombia?
There are differences and also similarities because Jamaica being in the Caribbean, the Aboriginals were the Arawakas, which you have in Magdalena and La Guajira, same tribe. So some of the fruits, and even I found a way of cooking fish very similar in Barranquilla, and I figured the way they cooked fish was from the Aboriginals and not something from Europe. And in his second journey to the Caribbean, to the Americas, Columbus, quote unquote, discovered Jamaica in 1494. So where I live is actually a Spanish name, Ocho Rios. And in 1655, Oliver Cromwell sent an army and took Jamaica over from the Spaniards. And so we have a lot of things left over from the Spanish. So we're English speaking. I grew up when I grew up in Jamaica and born. It was a British colony, still a full-fledged colony until 1962. So we were taught proper English in school and almost no history or connection to the Spanish world. Simon Bolivar, when he lived in exile, he lived, I think, over a year in Kingston, Jamaica, where he wrote some famous, I think was it letters from Cartagena or something, he wrote while he was in exile in Jamaica. My Jesuit Catholic high school was actually founded by Spanish Jesuits, which were booted out of Colombia, and they came to Jamaica. And so my high school was actually founded by Colombians, if you want to look at it that way. And we grow coffee. I think our reggae music had some influence on your reggaeton. And so many things, in fact, to me, there were a lot more similarities than differences. The flora, the trees, the fruit, the vegetables, many, many similarities.
So Jason, could you answer the same question?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think that one of the main differences between Colombian and American culture is mainly food. I think that American food is really bland, and here in the Colombian cuisine, it's really exquisite. Also, I feel like Colombian people are really friendly, while Americans are really reserved. While I was studying there, I felt a lot of pressure from both my mom and dad, but mainly from my mom. And I feel like maybe Americans are a little bit more chill about studies. And here, actually in Colombia, I feel the other way around, which is weird, but I think it's great also.
So the next question is, what is the most important cultural event in your country?
Yeah, I think things change over time because, you know, when I was born in 1952, we were a British colony. We became independent in 62. Like everywhere else, Christmas is a major holiday, but in the English world, actually Easter is much bigger. And in the Eastern Caribbean, for instance, Easter in the English islands are 2 4-day weekends back to back. But over time, our independence and now emancipation from slavery have become big events, as well as Carnival, which is, you know, throughout a lot of the Catholic countries. So I would think Carnival has now become the biggest cultural event, as well as independence and emancipation.
Nice. Now talking about Jason, can you answer the question, please?
Yeah. Well, I think that for my family, the most important celebration in there was Thanksgiving. And there we always got to talk about what we were grateful for, and also it was a really nice celebration because my family all around the world decided to go to a different place and celebrate it there.
Nice. So, Paul, what is the main music that represents your country?
The reggae from Jamaica has been influential throughout the world. In fact, it comes from the Rastafari, the remnants of the black African slaves that retained the culture and the drumming. And in the counterculture of the 1960s, Bob Marley emerged with music which was, the lyrics was conscious. It was entertaining, it was all about consciousness and liberation and freedom. And that music still resonates today. I mean, the young people, every generation still listens to this conscious, revolutionary music that evolved out of Jamaica.
So, Jason, can you tell us about where's the music that most represents your country?
Yeah. Well, I think that long ago, country was the genre that most represented my country. But actually, the newer generations tend to like more Latin music and, well, pop and rock, which were always popular. Artists like, I don't know, Lady Gaga, Bad Bunny are always listened to in the radios, and my friends and I always listen to them.
So the next question is, beginning with Paul, where is the most important cultural place for you in your country?
I mean, I think in Jamaica's the Morant Bay Monument in Morant Bay, St. Thomas in eastern Jamaica, commemorates the first slave rebellion in the world. And it's what precipitated the British to start to look towards emancipation. Initially, the island was run by planters, and this caused the British to actually bring the government in. So I think being the first slave rebellion in the New World is a historically significant place and monument in Morant Bay, Jamaica.
And now, Jason, which is the most important cultural place in your country?
Well, I think for me is the 9/11 National Memorial. because it reminds us of our lives, like it could end any second now, and we should live by that phrase, like YOLO, the acronym "You Only Live Once." Also, my dad had familiars in there, so I think that is why it's also really important for my family as well.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
And bye bye. Pues van a ser dos tomas ya.
Con acá,
No, pero espera. Our oral communication.
sí.
Lo hecho así sentado.
Pero de hablar porque estamos como hablando de eso.